I almost ruined my marriage because I forgot one simple truth. A person's kindness should never become something you feel entitled to. There was a time in my marriage when I was pregnant, and my husband treated me like I was made of glass. He didn't want me stressing myself or putting too much pressure on myself. He would help me with almost everything: cooking, cleaning, sweeping, washing, and taking care of things around the house. His only goal was to make sure I was comfortable and that both me and the baby were fine. Even after I gave birth, he continued being that supportive husband. I remember when my mother came to stay with us after I had my baby. One day, she watched my husband helping me, and she just smiled. "My daughter," she said, "you are truly blessed." Then she started telling me about her own experience. She said that during her pregnancy days, women were expected to endure everything. They still went to the farm, went to the market, carried out their duties, and proved they were strong. That was the mindset back then. Then she looked at my husband and said, "This man carries you like an egg. Many women pray for a husband like this. Don't ever mistake his kindness for something you are entitled to. Appreciate what you have." I wish I had held on to those words. Not long after that, my husband received a major promotion at work. He became a branch manager, and with that came more responsibilities. His workload increased. He started staying late at work. Sometimes he was so busy that he barely had time for anything else. And instead of understanding the change, something dangerous started growing in my heart. I became entitled. I started seeing the things he did out of love as things he was simply supposed to do. One evening, I was preparing dinner. I had washed some vegetables and needed help cutting them. Normally, my husband would have joined me. But that day, he was focused on his laptop, handling work. I walked to him and asked, "Can you please help me slice these vegetables?" He looked at me and said calmly, "Baby, I'm really busy right now. Please understand. I can't do it at the moment." And for some reason, that answer upset me. I reacted immediately. "You've changed," I said. "You're not the man I married. You used to help me. You used to care. Now, everything is left for me. I'm handling the baby, the house, the cooking, everything." He stayed quiet and listened. Then, he asked me a question that stopped me. "Because I used to help you, does that mean you now have a right to demand it?" Without thinking, I replied, "Of course. You're my husband. Isn't that your responsibility?" That was when his expression changed. He said, "Please don't take my kindness for granted. I helped because I love you, not because I was forced to. There are many people who wouldn't even bother helping at home, but I chose to do it because you matter to me. The problem is that lately you no longer appreciate it. You expect it." Those words hurt. I was angry. I went back to the kitchen with my baby on my back and started cutting the vegetables with frustration. Then, something happened. I felt a quiet conviction in my heart. "What exactly is in these vegetables that you cannot cut yourself?" I ignored it. Then the thought came again. "Has this man been good to you?" "Yes." "Has he supported you many times?" "Yes." "Then why are you angry because he couldn't help you today?" But my pride was louder than my gratitude. I finished cooking and served the food. For the first time in our marriage, my husband didn't eat. He simply said he wasn't hungry. That night, we went to bed upset with each other. The next day, I visited a friend who had also recently had a baby. When I arrived, she was doing everything: sweeping, cooking, taking care of the children, handling the house. I looked at her and asked, "Does your husband not help you?" She laughed, Help me. My husband has never really been that type. I've always done everything myself. And the surprising thing was that she wasn't angry. She wasn't complaining. She had simply accepted her reality. At that moment, I felt like God placed a mirror in front of me. I saw myself clearly. I had been blessed with a loving husband, a caring husband, supportive husband, a man who had gone beyond what many people would do. Yet, I started behaving like he owed me those things. I confused love with obligation, and I felt ashamed. When I got home, I called him. "Can we talk?" We sat together, and I apologized. I admitted that I was wrong. I admitted that I had become entitled. I told him I had stopped appreciating the things he did for me, and I asked him to forgive me. He smiled, hugged me, and forgave me. That moment changed the way I saw marriage. Sometimes the blessings we receive repeatedly become so familiar that we stop seeing them as blessings. We start seeing them as things we deserve, but gratitude protects love. The moment appreciation disappears, entitlement begins to grow, and entitlement can slowly damage even the strongest relationships. Today, my husband is still the same loving man, but I am more intentional about saying thank you for the things I once expected automatically, because I learned something important. Kindness grows where it is appreciated, and love thrives where gratitude exists. Lessons from this story: 1. Never allow familiarity to turn appreciation into entitlement. Things done out of love should never be treated like obligations. 2. Gratitude strengthens relationships. When people feel valued, love grows deeper. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more content on relationships, emotional intelligence, self-improvement,